Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Episode 6, Bonfire Chat with Two Broke Gamers. I'm Ray. Alongside me, we got Ryder here.
Yeah, yellow.
Yep. And today
All right.
is just like any other day. Nothing special.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
but yeah. So here we are to do our thing, talk about topics and whatnot. I do actually have a few things I thought of to talk about today. Just that I thought would be kind of fun. But the first thing we normally seem to do is just kind of, before we get into games, we kind of talk about things that have happened in our life, funny things, good stories, what, just in general, what we've been up to. So, I'll say for me, what?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, boy.
I was just gonna say for me, um, been working outside a lot in the heat, not fun. Allergies have been absolutely destroying me. I just told Ryder before recording that if I go into a sneezing fit, chances are I'll just mute my mic and go silent. So if I ignore him, it's not because I'm being an asshole, it's because I'm sneezing. So I'll tell you too, just so I don't look like an asshole.
Yeah.
But other than that, been pretty all right. The weather is like pretty inconsistent where we live, where it'll be like 90 degrees one day and then it'll be like 60 degrees and raining. Then
It's literally how it just happened.
yeah, so it's very weird, which I welcome the rain, keeps the pollen down. I don't mind if it rains. I think I finally got the right allergy pill that I need. Was rocking some Zyrtec. Hope we never get sponsored by Zyrtec. Fuck Zyrtec, it don't work for me. It's all about that Zysol, baby. Sponsor us.
Okay.
That gets me going. It's expensive, but it works, so I don't care. I'll pay anything to not feel like trash with allergies. I do have a pretty funny little work story. So
Oh yeah.
this was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. My dad had left to go up to a museum, and so I was there by myself. And what we've been doing is cleaning out the shop. So throwing all the scrap wood and everything that is just like garbage is going into this big dumpster outside. And
Okay, so that's what you were doing yesterday. Yeah, you sent the picture yesterday.
yeah, it's what I've been doing all week. So, the guy who rented the building before us worked with acrylic. He was mainly an acrylic guy. Which, for those who don't know what acrylic is, it's just hard plastic. Like, it's clear. If you get like a video game graded or a comic book graded, that's like an acrylic. It's like an acrylic box. But so I was like busting up a big acrylic box, and this guy, his name is Jim. He walks in, and he sees me busting it up, and it's like all over the floor. And he's like, "Oh man," he's like, that stuff's real dangerous. Be careful." And I was like, "Yeah." And I turned around and tripped over it. So
I guess he was right.
that was pretty funny. I caught myself. I didn't fall, but it was just like a movie. It's just like one of those like, oh yeah, I guess you're right, because I literally just fell, almost fell. But so that was funny. That seems, it always happens to me.
That is pretty funny. Yeah.
I do want to say I almost want to thank skateboarding for giving me good balance, because 9 times out of 10 I start to fall, but I always catch myself. That's
cool.
good.
That's good then.
Because
yeah, it is good.
But
That is probably why too.
that's what I think. But I don't really skateboard much. I skateboarded like 2 weeks ago just to see if I could even do anything, and yeah, it's rough. But yeah, so pretty much things have been pretty normal. Nothing too crazy to report. Sadly, that's my only like funny story. That's all I got. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'll take the reins here.
Yeah.
I don't know about funny, but if you want me to talk about work, I'm gonna go nuclear.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
All right. So this is the week that I got to work 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to come across like I'm bitch about 5 days, but I am part time, so I'm kind of bitch about 5 days since I don't have insurance. I'm not getting paid insurance. Work 5 days here. But it's because the manager had like, what happened was like she took off Friday, and she's like, "You want to fill in my?" But no, Friday she was like, "I'm taking off Friday. I already worked Friday." she was like, yeah, I need to find somebody to replace me. I'm like, well, I can't replace you because I'm already working Friday. And then she was like, oh, you got to fill in. Can you fill in Sunday? Because I have to do like this baby thing. And then like, she was like, oh, can you actually fill in like next Friday too? Because they actually moved the thing I was originally doing on Friday, but I'm still going to just take off anyway. It's like, okay, well, all right. It's like, all right, whatever. So I go in, last Friday, I guess, yeah. And I'm just like, I'm in there. She's like, yeah, whatever. She's not there. I'm like, this will be all right day. About 30 minutes in, we're unloading the truck. I'm like, oh, what's that? My back. Man. Back started hurting a little bit. Then it started hurting a lot. And it started hurting a really lot. And we're like doing the truck. I'm like, I can't even like bend down like to get on like the floor. I'm in so much pain. Like, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta order too. Like, oh, this is miserable. Like, I can't even walk. So I ended up finishing the truck, ordering. It was like 1:30. I went to the guys. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get out of here. I'm in too much pain. I hate to do it, but I gotta get out of here, fellas. So I ended up leaving early on Friday, and then I'm like, maybe I'll just like crank itself out on Saturday, you know? Well, it doesn't. I have a pinched nerve in my back.
Yeah, it sounds like
what
it.
is. Yeah. Which, have you ever had a pinched nerve?
Yes.
Yes. So you know it like it's in my back, so it just completely like wrecks my feet and like my legs. Like I can't.
It pretty much paralyzes you in a way.
Pretty like it's like a moderate paralyzation sort of. But yeah, I got a pinched nerve in my back, like right in my left back, like right there. So it just like wrecked my legs.
Yeah.
But like Friday, it was miserable, man. Like it was so miserable. Like when my dad came and picked me up, like I could not get in the car. Like like I couldn't even get in the car. I had to like sitting down like with so much pain, and then I could not get my like right leg up into the car. Like I had to like lift it with both arms up in while I was in pain. So I was just miserable.
Once you sat down in this, like when you were sitting down, was it okay, or like did it hurt to sit down? Like while you were sitting?
Yeah, it hurt. That day it hurt when I was like sitting. Okay. Honestly, at this point, like right now, it's like not better, but it's better than it was Friday. It feels like it's fine when I'm laying down, and it's fine when I'm like standing up. Anything like if I'm like crouching, or like I go to crouch over, or like I'm like sitting down, I'm like in a lot of pain usually.
Yeah.
I have to like sit like, and then like lean to the right to like not feel the pain. But anyway, so that happened Friday. So that was
last Friday. Yeah.
Yes, last Friday. And then I had to work Sunday, so I came in. Everybody's like, "Oh, you better?" I'm like, "No." I'm not better. Like, I guess I'm better than I was Friday, but I'm still hurt, and I gotta work. And this ended up really making me mad. We got everything done, and fucking, she wasn't there again. So I guess everybody was like, the inmates run the asylum, and everybody was like, we can just like goof off and
we
not
can do
work.
whatever we want. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in pain too, so I'm like working the hardest, of course. And it's Drool and the narcissist are like in the aisle, and they're just like every time I walk by, they're just standing there talking, like not working. I'm like, these fucking dudes, man.
Yeah.
Like, these fucking dudes, man. And I'm working with Sardine, who's just like a dumbass.
Yeah.
And well, we got done everything, and we started facing like pretty early. And narcissist comes up and he's like, I don't think he's gonna be there that long, because he's like, what do you think? How long do you think it'll take us till we get done? You know, I'm like,
yeah, he's like always ready to leave.
I want to kind of get out here early. I'm like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with this, brother. And we were like, got done, and it was like 3:00. He's like, can I leave? I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, why are you asking me?
Like, I don't give a fuck. Just get the fuck out of here. If you're gonna be that annoying, just leave. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, leave. Whatever. And we ended up like, we had like 1 aisle to go. Then we ended up getting done by about 4. And then Jewel comes up to me. I guess we're done, so I guess we can leave, huh? Early. We had like an hour left. And because this was like what? This was probably like 3:45. We had about an hour left, and I'm in my head. I'm just like, I'm just gonna do like a couple random bullshits to, you know,
just get paid the hour and then like
yeah, get paid and then get out of here. He's like, well, I guess I can leave, huh? I'm like, dude, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. And then, whoops. Then
it doesn't matter. They're never gonna, it's fine.
yeah, they're never gonna hear. Then Sardine comes back. He's like, oh, we got anything else to do? I'm like, I think literally, I'm like filling up this cart. I'm like, yeah, we could do this right here. We could do this. Set out this one like stand thing. He's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave then. I'm like, what? Excuse me? He's like, yeah, I'm leaving. So everybody left me by myself. So I was there by myself, and I went to call my dad. I'm like, Dad, get in here and get here as fast as possible, right? So he ended up picking me up. I like set up the stand by myself and the fucking nobody else in the store. I was like so fucking pissed off that night, dude. Like, oh my god, to like the point where I'm like, I hate everybody here. Like, this is the final straw. I hate everybody here.
Yeah.
Fuck this job, man. This sucks. Despise everybody now.
Yeah.
So I was left there by myself, and then he got me. He's like, how'd it go? I'm like, fucking. He's like, where's everybody at? I'm like, they all left like a fucking hour ago. And he wasn't very happy about it either.
Wait, who's he?
My dad.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, my dad. Especially because I'm hurt. I'm like hurt.
Well, yeah.
Everybody left. It's like, okay. Like, these guys are so fucking stupid. And then, manager comes back Monday, and I'm like, hey, I pinched my nerve, so I'm like, my back's pretty fucked up. Like, I'm not really.
Yeah, you're not 100%, yeah.
All. And she's like, oh, yeah, my back hurts too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, there we go.
Whose back's worse, party?
Yeah. Which, funnily enough, guess who did like all the work Monday, did all the hard work, was me. Dude, so many times, so I just like noticed now every time since you've been there, where it's like, just standing around watching us work, man. Just like, and then complains about other people standing around not working. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, you do it the most. You do it the fucking most out of anybody.
And to bring this up just because of what you said, she would always complain to me about like, why, you know, she had this like mentality where like the men should be doing the heavy lifting, the men should be doing it. It's like she would always tell me, she's like, how come Drool is always he never grabs the cat litter. He always grabs the lightest items, blah blah blah, and it's like, that's what she did. So she was just the definition of the narcissist.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was just another thing that I remembered.
Yeah, then I told her about everybody leaving, and she's like, well, you should have said to do this. I'm like, dude, I'm not a fucking manager.
Yeah,
don't hold that position. We're all in the same. Everybody else that I work with is the same as me.
I was gonna say, what weight do you have on them?
I don't have the power to say stuff like that. I can't say that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if she doesn't understand that. Like, I can't. Like, I can't. I would get in trouble if I'm like if I like started acting like that. I can't do that.
Yep.
It's like, dude, do you not understand? You're the fucking manager, which I think she forgets because like so many times she'll be like, go. She'll like tell Drool to go like tell the other guys to like do this and stuff, and it's like, why can't you do it? It's your fucking job.
Yeah.
To do that. Oh. And then
there's just no reason that they would listen to you.
No.
It would have to be a respect thing. That's all it would be. It's like, oh, Ryder wants me to do this. Okay, I'll help him out. Or it's like, but the reality is, it's like if they came up and told you what to do. It's like, it doesn't, either way, it's the same. It's the same. You're just employees.
Yeah. It's like, no, I don't hold that position. I can't say stuff like that. Oh. And she was like complaining about not getting paid and wanting a raise. I'm like, fucking everybody needs a raise around here. It's fucking me. I do more work than everybody here. And I'm not, I could do everything that she can as a manager, and I do not get paid like one. So
yeah, that's why you definitely shouldn't do anything that anything that is something the manager does is just some stuff you should never do. Should always be like, no, I'm sorry. That's not my role.
Sorry guys out there listening.
No,
start the podcast off with me pissed off.
No, I think it's always like, I don't know. I get a kick out of hearing people complain about things. I don't know.
Funny thing is too is like, just to rein it in a little bit. If we were off podcast, I'd probably be even angrier talking.
Yeah.
If it was just me and you talking off, I'd probably be. I'm like kind of holding back a little bit, but I'd be so fucking mad, like talking.
I
I was so
I
mad,
just
man. It was horrible.
I'm glad that I worked there. And I'm not saying that this, like, you didn't see it because you're dumb or anything, but I think it was, you know, I kind of came in and was like, because this is your first job, I think you automatically are a little bit blind to certain things because you don't know how like a normal place would function.
Yeah.
And so, like, the way I saw that place, I'm like, wow, these people wouldn't last like with a legit job. Like, they get away with everything. They barely do anything. And all the issues that she would complain about, it's like, if you think that's a big deal, I can't even imagine if you ran into a real problem. So, and then yeah, just her watching us work and complaining.
That's funny to me. Was I've heard it multiple times where she would like talk about Drool and be like, he couldn't hold a real job. It's like he's like doing the same thing you're doing. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
he's pretty much doing the exact same stuff.
Well, yeah. So that just reflects back onto her. She's just shitting on herself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And everybody that works there. All she's just shitting on everybody there.
Yeah.
Because like, so she doesn't consider this a real job. So
nah, she was like in her head. She's like, you know, because you were like talking about her husband because he does like construction. I'm like, well, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Like, good for him.
Yeah. No.
Like, is that a real job? To have to like kill yourself for years?
People always have this thing where it's like, manual labor is the only real job. Like, oh, you just sit at the computer. That's easy.
School.
It's like,
yeah, it's such an old school mentality thing.
All it is, it's just different levels of strain on your body. Or like, so it's like, okay, you go out there and you do construction. Now, I'm not saying it's mindless, as in you can be an idiot and do construction. All I mean is like, it's really just about like, can you stand the heat, the heavy lifting, and the hard labor? To me, it's no different than sitting in a cubicle because that's mental stress. You're dealing with emails and calls and customer complaints. So it's like, they're the same.
By the way, they could never handle, because they don't have the mental fortitude to do that. They don't have the mental capacity to do anything like that. That would involve like using your brain even a little bit.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that to people who work there.
Yeah. So, yeah, that place sadly is one of the poorest run like shifts I've ever seen in my life. The manager's among the worst I've ever seen. She's terrible. I don't blame the employees that much because it's a third shift thing. So like that's where I'm telling you, it's where the freaks come out. So because I don't put too much blame on the
freaks come out at night.
Yeah, I don't put too much blame on the employees, but I just think that everybody that, like, I think the whole place needs a rework. I think she needs to go. I think like if you, now I know it's like sounds like I'm just taking your side because I'm your friend to everybody else, but like genuinely working there, trust me, it's pathetic how these other people function. So if it was just you and then you got some like people around you that, now I'm not saying like they have to have this absolute drive for that business and they want to see it strive. It's not that. It's just a decent enough work ethic to where everybody's doing the same amount, so it just gets done right, quickly, no muss, no fuss. It's not like that. It's all one-sided, tip the scale stuff. So that place would really benefit from new management and, you know, maybe some better employees, but it is what it is. But yeah, so work stories. Ryder always has the juicier bits because I don't really have anything like that.
Well, you don't have it, yeah, because you know it's like you and Dad pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, I guess like the stories that I normally get, like what happened recently, is we'll get up to a place and it'll be like, so we'll bid on a job, be like, okay, this is your portion of the job, okay, and then we'll get up there and they're like, well, who's doing this? It's like, oh, I don't know, whoever you hired to do it. Well, I think you guys should do it. It's like, we can't. Like, it happens a lot where it's like, it's completely not up to us to do this one thing or these certain things, but then next thing you know, we're just going up there to do this one thing, and now we're doing something that has nothing to do with us. that other people were supposed to do. And the problem with that, it's not just like, oh, do it for them to be nice. No, it's now you're responsible for all that. Now it's your like thing that if it gets messed up or whatever, like you don't want to put your name to that if you don't have to.
Yeah.
So that's the things we run into, and it happened recently. And it's like you feel bad because you're like that's not what you hired us to do, and if you want us to do that, you're gonna have to give us more money because it was just not in the scope of our job. So that's I would say the frustrating parts. Sorry for sniffling so much, guys. I'm fighting these sneezes like crazy.
I just had a cough and fit. I tried to like get the mic away, but you probably heard. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was actually just choking on my drinks.
I know. I don't want people to think that they're watching this Mr. Snort.
All right.
The Snort Fort's under distress. I wonder how many people would know what I'm talking about. The Snort, King Snort.
I think a lot of people would.
So funny to me. All right, we'll transition to games now. We'll transition.
Games.
So video games are pretty cool.
Guess so.
Let's actually talk about the real thing at hand. Let's talk about this Drake and Kendrick beef.
Did you actually listen to the songs?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's just funny. Like it's just like I just think it's so funny how it's just like all of a sudden this thing has like the world in its grip. This stupid thing.
I'm hashtag Team Kendrick, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I am because Kendrick, I actually like his music.
I actually liked
To Pimp a Butterfly. Like that's a good album.
I need to listen to his music. So like, I think as far as rap, hip hop, whatever, I think I would actually like him because I listen to like these songs, like Meet the Grams. I'm like, dude, this song's awesome. Like,
yeah.
I was like crying, laughing because I'm like, dude, this guy is like. I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, he's going too far. He's going too far. I'm like, dude, this is like, I'm like so giddy. I'm like, this is so awesome, man. Yeah. Like, oh, it's so awesome how far he's going.
Yeah, he doesn't
actually
care.
Legit just like the songs.
No, yeah,
just
seriously,
like good songs.
I will always have a little soft spot for Kendrick because To Pimp a Butterfly was an awesome album, and when the album Damn came out, I was working at Walmart. So this was back in 2016, 2017 maybe, I can't remember. When that album came out, we were all just like would listen to it in the back room, and I was kind of like, you know what? Like I like Kendrick a lot because I like conscious rap and I like the stories and whatnot. But it's just I just think this beef thing is so funny. It's like, is it that serious? No, but it is. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's not that serious, but it is serious. It is funny though, but I'm not actually gonna talk about that. That was a joke. But
unironically, I actually would listen to the Kendrick songs. Yeah. Like actually like these.
Yeah, no, Kendrick, I like Kendrick. He's tight.
Yeah, he's got good he's a good lyricist, so he's got a lot of good lyrics. That's probably why I think I would like him if I actually listened to his albums.
Probably.
Like he'd be like the only one for me that I would like. That's like it.
Yeah, he's legit. He's legit, for sure. So some of the topics I wrote down. I realized something. We're six episodes deep. We're 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking that we never even like talked about or what like what our favorite genres of games are, what games we don't like, and like what even got us into gaming. You know, like we never even like did that. Which I feel like is like a pretty normal thing to like say on like a first episode.
Well, yeah, well.
So like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, because like we just know. So it's like, but
that's why.
But I don't remember us ever talking. I remember telling you, but I don't remember you ever telling me your first time experiencing a video game, and like, not necessarily the game that got you into it yet, but like the first time you ever saw a video game and kind of like remember it. And knew what you were looking at.
Yeah.
So I was just curious, like, what was your first?
I can I can go there.
Yeah.
It was my first time. Well, it hasn't happened yet, sad to say.
Yeah, it's sad.
But
No
anyway,
fucking here, boy.
I fucked last night.
That fuck last night.
I could tell my first video games was definitely we had a PS1. I swear to God, I don't remember what shop it was. Oh man, the one of like docks, like our real close area. Does it matter?
I mean, not really.
All right, we went up to like like Jerry's.
Yeah.
They must have like had like a game store or like a video store like in that like shopping center or something
Mhm.
because I remember it was in the car. It was me, mom, and dad, and he came out with a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, right?
Okay.
So he came out Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, which we already had a PS1 at that point, I guess. I don't remember every single detail, but I know like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and like Pac-Man World and Frog are like the first 3 games I ever played.
Okay.
But I just remember going up to Jerry's and he coming out with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and he like gave it to me. He's like, "We're gonna go home and play this." I'm like, "Yay! Woo!
So
Yay!"
So you just had a PS1. So your first time experiencing video games were just because your dad had the system at the
I
house?
guess he had the system, which is like, I couldn't. Yeah, I guess so. But I would have been like, dude, I would have been like 3 or 4. So I guess I don't know why he would have had it. Maybe just like playing Madden.
Yeah.
Or something. Because I don't remember having any Maddens, but we
Twisted
definitely
Metal.
had Maddens. We did it. We had Twisted Metal 4. That was another early game. I was at like Land Before Time, Journey to the Big Water on PS1.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. I also got 3 eventually. Yeah, but I definitely had the PS1. Played that. That's probably why I love Tony Hawk. That's why I love those 3 games: Frogger, Pac-Man World, and Tony Hawk 2, because I played them so young.
Yeah.
It's like literally my first gaming experience. I love those 3 games. Like, adore them. And I remember I ended up spilling juice on the PS1 and broke it. So spilled juice all over it, broke. And then I remember getting the PS2 with Tony Hawk 4, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Getting
That's crazy.
That's and that was that's a long journey there then when getting the PS2.
Yeah.
The PS2 is like the real start for me, I would say. Because I ended up with like 80 PS2 games,
We'll get into that. Let's say my first time with any video game was also PS1.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was my mom had a friend, his name was Bob.
Builder?
Yep. And I was 4, maybe 4.
Okay.
And he brought over his PS1. I guess he didn't want it anymore, that's all I can assume. And it was just in a box. And my mom was like, "Here, Bob's giving you this." And I'm like, I had no clue what I'm looking at. So he helped us hook it up. And he was like, "All right, see ya." And so I just turned it on. And I'm just looking at this screen and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like comprehending what I'm looking at. At this controller, I don't even know what this thing is. I'm like pressing buttons on it and some things are happening. I just had no clue what was happening at all. And that game was Tomb Raider. I didn't know at the time what it was. But it was Tomb
Sorry
Raider
about that.
plopped in like the middle of the game, wherever his save file was. So I just had like no clue what I was looking at. And at 4 years old, I would have not got far anyway, but I couldn't even read.
Hell no. No.
Couldn't even read. So then I put in then I saw one of the cases had a football player on it. I'm like, football, I know football. Put it in. It was Madden, probably like Madden 98, whatever. Put it in again. Didn't know how to functionally play the game, and I didn't even know how football really was played. I just know that I've seen it on the TV. So I was just playing that, no clue what was happening. But the first game that I ever remember playing and actually knew what was going on was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
We are literally the same person, dude.
Okay,
We are
now
the same.
I think it's 2, maybe it's 1. You'd be able to let me know. It may have been 1 actually, but the menu system was a skateboard wheel.
It's 2.
Okay, then it was 2. Did 2 have hanger?
Yes.
Okay, it was 2, 100% then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because I can tell you, I never left that level.
Wheel's so cool. That skateboard wheel's such a cool menu design.
Well, so
by the way,
the reason I remember that wheel so well, again, I couldn't read, and but I knew how to navigate. I found out like, oh, hit this button, which was the right D-pad, hit that twice, hit the other one left. Like I knew how to get to playing in the hangar. That's what I knew what to do. I just knew how to get there. From there, I just played and whatever. But my dad tells people all the time that like, you know, that's the one game he always remembers me playing because he was like impressed that I memorized the wheel just so I could get in and play. And whether I don't know if this one was Tony Hawk 2 or 1, but one of them had a Matt Hoffman's BMX demo in it. And
that was probably 2. I think 2 does have demos and a couple demos.
And I knew how to get to that as well. So yeah, it's just funny that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was kind of our both legit, like, kind of knew what was going on, kind of.
Yeah.
Because I went to the store and bought it, and was like, I want this one, because I saw skateboarding and I loved skateboarding. So, so yeah, that's funny that we both had PS1 experience. Okay, I think that can kind of transition to like another topic of what genre were you into the most as a kid, and what genre are you into the most as an adult?
For that, I just want to mention, because I remember this for Tony Hawk too, and I think you had the same experience with like other things. Was yeah, and you'll know where I'm going. Like, but there's like certain things you can't do as a kid, so you get your dad to come in to do them.
Yep.
Right. And then, like for like 2, like I couldn't get like the money and like the bull rope level. I couldn't figure out how to get like on the top where you have to like grind on like the wires to get like the money.
Yeah.
And like Tony Hawk 2 and like some like the secret tapes and stuff like really hard, and I couldn't like figure out where they were. But later in life on the PS2, on American Wasteland, getting that green pyramid where you have to tap the button as fast as possible, having to bring my dad in like every time I replay the game. Dad, come here. Can you do this? And he'd come and do it instantly and leave. So I had to do that.
Same exact thing here.
Yeah, you said you had the same thing happen. You had to get your dad to come in to do it.
We were in North Carolina at the beach, and I'd gotten to that point, and I was getting mad.
Yeah.
And my dad did it first try. I genuinely would love to try that as an adult because I'd never tried it since I was a kid. And I would probably like laugh at how easy it is.
It probably is so easy, dude.
But yeah, that is something that I know when we were both talking about it for the first time, it was funny because our stories like aligned perfectly. That's such like a vivid thing ingrained in my memories, that green bar.
Yeah, I know, dude.
The fucking green bar, man.
Getting that stupid thing off. So dumb.
That was so rough.
It's not even a good thing to skate on either, by the way. No. It's like horrible. It's like a horrible, like, angled up in a weird way. You just like launch off and it sucks.
Yep.
Anyway, we go to like our genres that we like.
Yes, like I guess let me add to that a little bit. A genre that what did you not like? Genre you remember not liking as a kid, genres you liked as a kid, and then the same for as an adult. Which ones you like now and which ones you don't like? We'll do the kid version, or when you were a kid, then I'll do mine, and then we'll go to the adult.
As a kid, I definitely liked. I guess I was a big like action adventure guy, you know, just like that generic. Like I don't really know what to call like that, like Okami. I did play a lot of like out there games for being a kid, to be honest. Yeah. You know, like I had the Eco and stuff, and like Klonoa 2. So I like platformers. Really like platformers as well, like Pac-Man World 2, Klonoa. Never had any like the Sly or Ratchet and Clank games as a kid, sadly. Definitely like, and then I guess like extreme sports games was obviously the other one. That was probably my favorite genre. If that like it counts as a genre, I don't know. that's where I played the most was Tony Hawk. Every year, got the new Tony Hawk. Played that. I played had both of the Bad Hoffman games. I even had like the wakeboarding game. Remember the wakeboarding game?
Yep.
Never had any snowboards. Never had any snowboarding games.
No
never
SSX.
Had yeah, I never had SSX actually.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wish I kind of did because I probably would have really liked it as a kid, but I still never really played SSX. The only one I played was the more the modern one.
I heard those control really bad compared to the older ones.
Yeah, it was okay. It was all right. It's I didn't really when I was playing it. It felt like I didn't really have control over what moves I was actually doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just kind of hitting random ways to do different stuff. But it's still fun what I played of it a little bit. But yeah, I'd definitely say that. Least favorite? What was my least favorite? I just think games I did not like. Because they're I just had games it was just certain games I didn't like.
Yeah.
Brave. I just did not like that game at all. I thought that game sucked. But then I like TAC, and TAC is they're exactly the same game. They play exactly the same, pretty much. So it makes no sense.
A lot different when you're a kid because I feel like you don't hate anything as a kid.
No, not really.
You kind of just like everything. Video game wise, at least.
Plus, also as a kid, usually you don't have money to go out and buy yourself, so you get a game. You kind of have to just force yourself to
you would
play
you would just be like, yeah, I like this. Yep. Can't admit to yourself that it was bad.
It wasn't until 360 era for me where I was I do not like these.
Yeah,
games,
these are bad games.
To be I don't like these certain games. I'll let you go while I'm thinking here because I'm kind of blanking.
So pretty much very similar with you. My favorite genre was extreme sports or racing. That was the Tony Hawks, the MX versus ATV Unleashed. Dirt bikes, skateboarding.
Oh yeah, MX versus ATV Unleashed. I forgot about that. I don't know. I love that game.
So anything racing or skateboarding or just extreme sports in that sense. Burnout, all that type of stuff. Those were for sure probably my most played and favorite genre. I did like platformers as well, so I'll say that's right up there. Genres I hated as a kid were RPGs, and I didn't really understand them for sure. That was a lot of it. When I would see someone play a turn-based RPG, I didn't understand it because I was like, "You're not even playing." I was like, in my head, I was like, "Just go play chess, or something." I was very ignorant to it, so I was like, "Wow, this is lame. Who would play this?" So I was like, I really despised those. Another honorable mention is wrestling games, which is also extreme sports, right? I mean, they all kind of just combine into that. But yeah, so I would say RPGs.
Playing a lot of wrestling games, dude.
Oh my god, so much. Oh, looking forward to them every year was so awesome. And I will say this: wrestling games, whether this is a good or bad thing, wrestling games were always different each year. They were not like Madden. They were a sports game that changed pretty drastically every year. Some for the better, some for the worse. And what's funny to me is as a kid, what made the wrestling game good was nothing other than the roster. I didn't care about anything else. I didn't care how it played. I didn't care about what you could do. It's just did it have Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio? That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
Didn't care about anything else. And what's crazy is you find that back then, not a lot of wrestling games actually had Jeff Hardy in it. Because it would always have Matt Hardy and not Jeff Hardy. And I didn't understand why as a kid. But yeah, so yeah, I would say RPGs. I didn't like RPGs, and I loved extreme sports racing. So it's pretty simple because I didn't have I didn't play Metal Gear growing up. I didn't play Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, or any of that. I played, like I said, MX vs ATV Unleashed, racing games. I liked shooters, but I didn't until the Xbox 360 era. I didn't really get into them. So
That's the thing. I was like trying not to go into the 360 era with certain stuff. Is when like like my taste and stuff really took off and changed.
We'll kind of get to that though. This is kind of at this point, it's just kind of like a ramping, our history with games. Maybe, I mean, it's okay if you don't remember hating any genres or not liking any genres as a kid, because
I don't really think,
like I said, we didn't really know good and bad, or we just played. We just enjoyed everything.
Yeah, I legit, not to be like I'm just a special one, but I don't remember hating any genres as like a child, like as like a prepubescent kid. Like I just remember like there were certain games I just did not like, and I didn't even hate any games. I just was like, I do not like Brave. I do not like. Wow. I don't even know what other game did I not like. I don't even remember. It's the only one I can think of. Poor Brave.
I didn't like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on PS2. I remember really hating that game.
Okay, I had a bunch of shovelware games like Jimmy Neutron, and I did like them as a kid. So
I don't know if you would have liked this Willy Wonka game, man.
I mean, probably not.
God, because like it was nothing like the movie, and so why would I want to play it? That's the whole reason you buy it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the show. It's like the movie. Because I think a lot of the Nickelodeon games on PS2 were pretty decent.
Yeah, because I had the SpongeBob games. I like SpongeBob games, like Jimmy Neutron games.
But like the Harry Potter games?
I had those. I like those.
Really?
I like those as a kid. Yeah, as a kid I did. Yep.
PS1 or PS2 Hagrid or whatever it is. Great meme. So
yeah, I had those too, and I like those. I got all those up to 5.
So So instead of going up to like just like what we like now, we'll kind of dissect. So we'll go a little deeper in it. So, obviously we went from PS1 and then the PS2 came out, and you got some of like your first memories with the PS2, or remember any?
Other than getting it at my grandma's house and getting Tony Hawk 4. I remember certain things like going to like we went to like GameStop. It was like me, my dad, and Tucker went. And Tucker got Reservoir Dogs, and then I got Bully. And I came home. We were in my room, and he put in Reservoir Dogs. Played for like 2 hours. I'm like, all right, let me play Bully. Then he left.
Chad move.
I probably went upstairs and played the rest of Reservoir Dogs, which sucked for him because he probably didn't have a memory card, so he had to restart.
Ugh.
We get Tucker, fuck you.
Oh, that's funny.
What other memories? I'm trying to think. Cause I just got like the Tony Hawk every year. That was like my Christmas gift was Tony Hawk. It's like, oh, Christmas, next Tony Hawk game comes out. There's a lot of games I actually did that with, where like every year I would get like the new one.
Yep.
Yep. Doesn't really happen now because like number one, games take a lot longer now, so you don't get a game.
Why do they take longer and they're worse? What's going on with that?
Yeah, it's true. But like Tony Hawk every year got the new one. I got all of them up to Proving Ground, so that's what 9.
Yeah,
it's 9, right?
Sorry, you ended on that note.
Yeah, Proving Ground sucked. I didn't like Project 8 that much either.
Project 8, unless it was on the 360, was not good to me.
See, I never played the 360 one. I only played the PS2 one.
And the only reason the 360 one was fun is because it had Ragdoll. And as a kid, if it had Ragdoll, I was in. Because Ragdoll was the funniest thing as a kid to me. That's all.
But for me, Underground was the one. That's the one for me on PS2. Yep. Underground. Underground's the best. That's my second favorite Tony Hawk game.
That one's peak.
Number one's the remake, obviously. The remake's perfect. It is
so good.
Perfect. It is like it is perfect. Like they did perfect with that. Then Underground, I just loved Underground. Plus, it has the biggest dick of a villain ever in like any game. Like legit, I remember that's like I can tell you that's my first villain I like legit hated from like a video game. Like, the first character I like despised, like Eric Sparrow, dude. I'm the one that did the 360 big twister of the helicopter off the building in Hawaii, and I knew.
Yeah.
It was me.
He beat his ass with Tampa Am. He breaks his board.
He gets mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Man. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I saw that the reason, uh, this is just what I saw on an article, that the reason they didn't do Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remake is they said it was too much of like a risk. Like, or they basically whatever wording it was, it translated in my head to they were afraid it wasn't going to be as good as people wanted it to be. So,
I mean,
very weird.
I
Because
still think it
1
would
and
have been
2 they did a
good.
great job, so why would 3 and 4 be
Yes.
bad? Other than if the base, that to me it's like, okay, are you saying that 3 and 4 just aren't good then?
I mean, and to me, I think the levels are a downgrade
Yeah.
for me personally.
I think the way the game,
Um,
I don't really prefer the way those games play.
What 3 and 4?
Like, and I just mean you're just kind of in this area. It's funny because they play. I think it's 4 that plays where it's like that one plays a lot like Underground, where it's like there's just people around and you just like go up to them and do a
Four
mission.
is like you're like in a level and then you go and
Yeah.
do like you go up to the characters and like they talk to you and they're like, here, do this mission.
I don't like that. I don't prefer that. But the reason I liked it in Tony Hawk's Underground is because like the story was actually good and
The
fun.
story was actually good, which is like hilarious, like unbelievably how like actually good it is in that game.
It's like you go to Hawaii and Russia, like you go to these crazy places. It's so funny. Or Moscow, yeah. So, but for some reason in 4, I didn't like it. So, I don't know. I just thought it was weird that they said that they didn't do it because they were afraid of the quality that it would be, or people wouldn't like it, or I wish I knew exactly what the article said, but it's kind of a shame because I think it would have been fine. But Vicarious Visions, whatever, I forget what happened with them, but there's another. That's like the
they're
other reason
dead,
they didn't do
right?
it. Something like that.
They're dead. Yeah, they're dead now. I think they got like I can't remember. They just got like demolished, or they might have just like brought them into like another bigger group, got rid of them or something. I don't remember. They're dead though. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Sadly.
Sad. But yeah, I also pretty much got the Tony Hawks when they came out.
Yeah.
That was like I looked forward to that and the wrestling games every Christmas.
Yeah, wrestling games was another one I got every year because I got every one of those up to 09. 09 was the last one I got. I didn't like 09, so.
I didn't really understand as a kid, like release dates and
Yeah.
anticipating a game. I never knew like what was coming until I saw it. I only knew what existed if it was in the store. So, my brain wasn't like, oh, I can't wait for the next Tony Hawk to get announced because I didn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just go to the store. I'll be like, all right, point to stuff you want on for Christmas. So it was like, oh heck yeah, a new Tony Hawk game, or oh, there's a new wrestling game. I'll say Blockbuster's a reason I found out about a lot of games. Go in and rent a game at Blockbuster. But yeah, my PS2 is just filled. Like my PS2 library as a kid is just legitimately dirt bike games, skateboarding games, racing games. That's it. There's like nothing else.
I remember as a kid, you remember like the Christmas catalogs.
Oh
like
yeah,
Toys R Us and whatnot.
yeah, circling them motherfucking man.
That's what I did. I'd like circle,
Love that.
like do this, and that's probably what. Then they would probably, Dad would just take it and be like, okay, that's what he wants.
Did that as well. And else, man, I'm not one to like be like, man, take me back. But I it's just that feeling that Christmas used to give is, oh man, what a feeling. Getting excited for the catalogs and not being able to sleep. Oh man, that's something that
I know. I don't feel it. Doesn't feel the same anymore. I hate like. I love Christmas because it was like not to be like a consumer here, but just because you get the gifts. But it was like kind of also like surprise because you didn't know what you were getting. Now obviously we're like fucking 27, 26, 27, and like. You get like a gift, and they're like, "What do you want?" And you like tell them right what you want, and then you know exactly what you're getting. It's like, it's like, oh, it's not as fun. Or it's like me. It's like, hey, what do you want? And then I have to buy it myself, buy my own Christmas gift.
Yeah. Well, and
I want Hades and Spider-Man Game of the Year edition. Let me buy them.
when people say
Whoa,
like,
got that for
"Oh,
Christmas? Whoa.
take me back. I wish Christmas was," it's like, but the reality is, I would rather be in the spot I am now when it's like, oh, a new game comes out, I can just buy it on release day. I
Yeah,
mean,
that is
imagine
nice.
imagine waiting till Christmas to play Rebirth.
Yeah, that would have been horrible. That
So
would
it's
have
like
absolutely sucked.
it's just the magic that Christmas was is what I miss. I don't miss like having to wait to get the new systems because of course it's great I
Oh
can
no.
buy them now, but Christmas was just a magical time.
Yeah, it was really fun.
But yeah, so then from like PS2 to 360, that is like kind of you were saying, that's when my horizons broadened like
Yeah.
20-fold. That's when I was like, okay, I understand gaming, and I get what I'm into. I get release day hype, like all that. So that was like, yeah, PS2 I didn't have that, but 360 that when that hit, I was fully in, for sure.
Yeah, 360 is when I was like, yeah, fully in with games. Which it's funny because like what I liked in the 360 era is not what I like now. Like it's
Yeah,
like completely changed again. And
I'd
there's a
say it's
certain
the same
game
for
on
me.
360. I'll say there's a certain game that like me before this game and me after this game is like a different person gaming wise. Um, I can let you imagine what game it is. But because that's like the era where I really got into like shooters,
Uh
like
huh.
love shooters. It was like the main genre. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
everybody, just, if you're a kid or like a teenager during the 360 era, you're playing the damn shooters. You're
Yep.
playing the CODs. You're playing Halo.
Uh
You're
huh.
playing Gears of War. Is what
Uh
you're
huh.
doing. It's like it's just what you were doing. All right, and I loved them. Loved them all. Um, that's also when I was like more like story driven games type thing. I don't know. Like Dante's Inferno was like a game I like legit was like this game sucks. Like I don't like this game at all. Like get this out of here. Um it's like also like when I was like you get the Burger King games and then you finally realize like there are bad games. Like there are legit just bad games. Like
Yep.
games exist that are just bad. And there's like nothing you can do about it. Like it's not fun to play. It sucks in every like way, shape and form. It's just trash.
True.
Um Funnily enough, still love the skating games. You know, played the skate
Oh
games.
man.
2 and 3, loved them. So I guess
Yeah.
skateboarding and extreme sports was still like my favorite
Yeah.
genre in a weird way. Um, but I would say for me, like a big game that I got was on DS, and it's when I got like Final Fantasy 3. It was like a big game that I got because that's like the first RPG I ever played, and
Mm-hmm.
from then on I loved RPGs. So really happy I got that one. It was on the D because that was like what 06.
Yeah.
Been
It
like
was
06, 07,
yeah.
06, 07. So it would have been like transitioning into the
360.
360 era. Because
Yeah.
I never played any RPGs before that. Because you mentioned like hating the genre, and like I never even played them, so I
I
couldn't even
didn't
hate the
play them. I
genre.
just saw people play them.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't own any myself. I would see my older cousin play, and he liked like I saw him play like Final Fantasy X,
Yeah.
like on PS2. I'm sure I've seen like I can't name them all because I just saw a little bit, but like, and he like was really into like RuneScape, so I hated that, But um, but uh, but yeah, shooters. So the thing is with 360, that's when it was like, oh, we can, because I didn't experience it until 360, because the 360 era is like that's when online gaming really blew up. Um, Aside from
Yes.
PC, but I didn't have a PC, so I didn't know. But the 360 era, that's when online games were really blowing up. So yeah, Halo 3, my favorite online experience of all time, and nothing will top it ever. My memories with Halo 3. It's my favorite Xbox 360 game, nostalgia wise. Absolutely love it. Well, yeah, and then I discovered like Battlefield 3. I was like, holy shit, like this game's insanely good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare on 360 was the first online game I ever played. That was fantastic. So, like online games, I was like shooters galore on 360 for sure. Yeah, then got introduced to Gears of War. Didn't play that online, but played that. So yeah, that genre on that system was just like a match made in heaven for me. especially being able to play online and having Xbox Live parties instead of having to do the PS3 garbage was so nice. Meeting friends and like playing with them, and they're in different states and countries, and it's like just all new to me. It's something that I never experienced, and I'll always cherish those memories. And some of those people on my Xbox list, I hope they're all doing well, because Lord knows I haven't talked to them in over 10 years easily. So
it's really depressing. I like go on my laptop. It'll have like the Xbox app, and like I clicked on there before and like signed into my account, and it'll like show you like your like friends, and then you go down and be like, has it last online 7 years ago?
yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, so many of these guys are just done. It's like, man, it's a shame.
It does suck. Because some of those people.
That's what mine would be. Mine would be like last online 10 years ago or whatever.
Because some of these people, you may have not known them in real life, but I would get home and be like, oh, he's on. Let's play Halo.
Yeah.
Or let's play Battlefield. Like, you just like, you didn't have their phone number. You didn't message them, hey, get on. No. It was like, oh, they're on. And sending them a message didn't do anything. They're not going to get anywhere.
Dudes, you always see like, oh, this dude's playing. Oh, he's playing Modern Warfare 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I always see him online, and then eventually it just stops. It's like, man, I wonder what happened.
The 360 era was such an awesome era for me, because being born in 1998, I was so young when the PS1 and PS2, well, I was not even born when the PS1 came out, but PS2, I was still young. It wasn't until 360 that I was actually old enough to understand a lot more. But that when we say the 360 is when I started to realize like some games are not good.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind for me that I played on 360 when I was like, oh, okay, like there's just such thing as bad games, and that was on the Xbox. Was it just did they call it the live arcade, like an arcade arcade games or whatever?
Yeah, like you're talking about like PSN, but like Xbox.
Yeah, so it's like Doritos Crash Course type of game.
Yes, yeah, it was a live arcade. Yeah.
It was a game called Zombies Ate My Girlfriend.
Enough, okay.
And it was.
We're digging to the bottom of the barrel. This
how I don't even ask. It was that, and then there was a game called I Made a Game with Zombies in it. And the song was just, he just kept saying, I made a game with zombies in it. Like, it was a song. It was hilarious to me. But like I spent Microsoft points on it, and I'm like, oh, that's a bad game. Like, okay, so bad games exist. And then it was like I played Left 4 Dead for the first time on 360, and I hated it. I was like, this is so boring. Like, I just did not like it. I don't say boring. I hated the fact that it was like a horde shooter. Like, this is dumb.
Okay.
Because I had memories of watching someone play Resident Evil 4 on PS2, and I played it a bit, but my mom found out I was playing an M-rated game, and she made me give it back. So RE4, kind of forgot to mention that in my, kind of upbringing, but that was a big game.
Brought any survival horror.
Well, that was a big game for me, because seeing my neighbor play that, I was like, whoa, like, this is terrifying. This is scary to me. And it intrigued me a lot, but so like with Left 4 Dead, I think I was expecting Resident Evil 4, but it was just like, here's a gun, here's a bunch of ammo, and here's a bunch of enemies, just don't stop shooting. And I just didn't like it. I was like, I don't like this. I didn't like. See, a lot of reasons people love Left 4 Dead is the mindlessness of just mowing down zombies, and that's why I didn't like it. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm just saying I just didn't like the mindlessness of just hold down RT, right trigger, and that's it.
Dude.
So funny enough, the first game that I ever kind of like remember not liking is a game that people love.
Left 4 Dead. I got so many memories of Left 4 Dead and me and Nick playing it, trying to get all the like achievements in the game, and we could not beat the game. Like, we could not beat any of the missions on the hardest difficulty in that game.
Do you think if I played it co-op with a friend, I would have liked it more?
Yes.
Because I just played by myself.
Yeah, yes, you would have loved it a lot more. Okay. That's what I did. It was me and Nick. Cause I didn't own the game. He owned the game. Okay. So the only time we played was when he brought it over. We played co-op. Um, but he brought it over. We'd always play that. We'd always play No Mercy. Always do No Mercy. Those levels, and we would always get to like the very end, and we could not beat like the horde, where you had to like beat all the hordes when the helicopter comes and stuff to like pick you up. Could not do it, dude. Could not do it. We tried so many times to like beat it on the hardest difficulty. We couldn't do it. I bet you we could now. Probably.
Yeah.
Definitely could now. I don't think we were just probably just like too young and too dumb. How many times we tried it? Did we try like hundreds of times and we could not do it? So
That's it. Well, I know I told you the story before, but back speaking of like not being able to beat certain things or struggling, back when we had when World at War came out on Xbox 360, I know it was on PS2,
Yeah.
but I'm talking 360 version.
yeah,
I rented it from Blockbuster, and I got in, and you know my Xbox was connected to the internet, so it was like, oh hey, Nazi zombies, and I'm like, oh okay, Nazi zombies, and I just remembered this, just popped in my head. The copy I first rented didn't work, and I was really bummed out because the reason it was really I was bummed out. I rented it on a Friday, and I wasn't able to get another copy until Monday, so my weekend I couldn't play it, and I was excited to play it. So, but anyway, found out about Nazi zombies. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I like this. So my neighbor was like, oh, okay, I want to get this game. So he bought it, and he's like, hey, where's the zombies? I'm like, yeah, it's just right there. It just says Nazi zombies. Like, it's grayed out. I can't click it. I'm like, what? So we went good old cheatcc.com. Looked up World at War. We're like, oh, maybe see what we got to do to unlock it. See if we can type in a cheat code. And I was like, all right, man. Well, you know, let me know what you figure out, because it was on his computer. And he comes in. He's like, okay. He's like, I know what we have to do. Like, what's that? He's like, we got to beat the game on veteran. I was like, oh, okay. So it took us about a week of us slaving away at trying to beat World at War, or should I say Grenade Simulator, on veteran, just to find out that all we had to do was beat the game on any difficulty to unlock zombies. But if you're connected to the internet, it automatically unlocked. That was the gimmick. And he didn't have internet. I guess I forgot to mention that. He didn't have internet. So Nazi zombies was not unlocked for him. So he had to beat the campaign. He read that you had to do it on veteran, or I don't know where he got that from. We did it, and it was no fun at all. I mean, it was legitimately not fun. And especially Call of Duty and most shooters are just not fun on the harder difficulties.
No, they're not.
It's unfair. It's unfair, and you pretty much just have to have cheese strats. And I have this vivid memory of us hunkered down behind this one barricade, spamming RB because that was the throw the grenade back button.
I gave up on that game. Trying to beat it on veteran, I gave up on it. It was too much
miserable.
for me.
And this is coming from someone who beat Halo 3 on Legendary.
Yeah.
And that was difficult, but
that is hard as well.
But my friend Bradley was just really good, and that helped a lot. But it's like that was nothing compared to this. And man, but it's just funny. Fucking thought we had to beat on veteran. Oh yeah, I guess I know we were kind of ranting about our memories with games. Just because we're already past the hour mark, and I do want to mention games we've been playing, mainly for one specific reason, because there's a game that I finished since the last podcast that I played out of nowhere. But
you'll definitely have to take I'll go first to get my stuff out of the way, but you'll definitely have to carry this section of the pod.
Okay.
Sorry to say. The other thing I started playing, I finished Prince of Persia last podcast. Yep. Played through that. I haven't played it since. Well, obviously I beat it, but I didn't buy the DLC or anything. Mm-hmm. I started playing Dragon Quest Builders, right?
Okay.
what you said you did in the chat started playing it. You copying me, boy. You copier.
Now I
Son
feel.
of a bitch.
Is this like? Am I getting like reverse trolled right now?
Why?
Because
What do you mean by that?
you started playing it after I said I was playing it.
No, I started playing it before you said you were playing it. I started playing it on I started playing it what we recorded podcasts Thursday. I started playing Saturday. So.
Oh. No, I legit I didn't know you were playing it. I legit just put it in randomly.
That's why it was like hilarious to me that you when you mentioned it, I'm like, what a weird coincidence.
Yeah, because I was just
But then
sitting
again,
there.
we are the same person, so.
Well, no, like my cousin was talking about how much he loved Dragon Quest Builders. He was like, I wish there was a Dragon Quest Builders 3 because he beat 1 and 2. And I was looking at my slime controller and I was like, man, I love Dragon Quest. I was like, but like I'm kind of still in the middle of Unicorn Overlord. I'm like, I can't really play like an RPG. I was like, but I love Dragon Quest. I was like, you know what? He's talking about Builders. I'm like, I'm putting that back in. So that's all. That's all. That's why I was playing it. But
I started playing that. Listen, I really like the world of Dragon Quest. Like I love like the design and stuff. But like this game's like okay to me.
yeah,
it's just like it's like
completely agree.
I don't love it. I got through the first chapter, so the Cantland chapter, right? I'm in the second chapter, and I was playing like yesterday for an hour, and I was bored out of my fucking mind. To be honest, I was like so bored playing it, and like it started making me feel nauseous for some reason, to the point where I'm like, all right. It's time for me to look for like something else to play and not play this one on the side. It's gonna be a side game. This can't be a main game. Like I can't just play this. It's like I don't want to be like I don't want to be like rude to it, but it's like too dull.
Yeah.
Like just play that.
And I've heard that's why the second one is a lot better.
Really?
I heard the second one's a lot better because there's just much more to it. The second one also has like online co-op. But
yeah,
it doesn't have.
We like played that. It'd be a lot of fun.
It doesn't have online co-op for the story. It has like online co-op missions you can do together.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I don't think Dragon Quest Builders is like this fantastic game. I genuinely think it's one of those games that you have to just love Dragon Quest and just want to be in the world, in the universe, and see, because like all it is like, oh look, it's a Draki.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's literally what the Fallout show was too. I finished that, by the way. Sorry, but it's like that. It's like fan service, you know. So when you're in the world of Dragon Quest, you're like, oh wow, it's like I think I remember the one. I forget what they're called. The dudes with the hammers. Why am I blanking?
Oh, I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Why am I anyway blanking on it for some reason?
They call them like the hammer hoods or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is a hammer hood. Or like, you know, and then there's like the bodkin archers. Like seeing those enemies is really cool.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, oh, you go up to the hammer hood, and there's like, oh, I remember one of the earlier things you do is they're like, oh, you want to make my hammer, huh? I'll let you make my hammer. Go do this, but you got to perform this task for me, and then I'll let you use my hammer. And it's like, okay, now you unlock the hammer, so now you can break different stones. So it's like that's the type of sense of progression it has. It's like, you know, you start off with your basic thing that can shovel dirt, then you build the thing that you can get through stone, and I assume it just carries that all the way up. So the gameplay loop is a little dull, and
that's why it's because like you can't go out of order. Like you have to like do the missions and then you unlock recipes to do.
And
you know,
from what I played, now this is very early, so people don't freak out. I feel like the building and the freedom you have to make things how you want is limited.
Very limited.
Because they want you to do it this way. Do it that way. This is a plan for this.
Blueprints.
Yeah, exactly.
You get blueprints like do it like this.
Yep.
It's like, okay.
So I think that was very limiting. I think having no verticality on the buildings was a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I guess I just wanted to be Minecraft Dragon Quest. I guess.
Yeah. It literally says at the beginning. It's like only things that are 2 blocks high will register as being part of your base. It's like, oh, okay. It's like there's like no roof. There's no point to the roof. How far did you get in it?
Man. So.
Did you beat the first chapter?
I think I'm like right at the end of it. The
Really?
reason I brought up the Hammerhood thing is because like that was one of the last things I did. It's like what I remember is like getting the hammer.
But you didn't beat the first chapter.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, okay, because this is what killed me with the game. You go to the second chapter and it like takes you to a different island, right?
Yeah.
Gets rid of all your stuff. You
Yes,
start completely fresh.
that I did know.
Killed me. Killed me.
Yeah, because you're
Instantly. I'm
not.
like,
Yeah, it's a
here.
level.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I got to restart this and like everything in my base and like I don't have like the big chest that where like you can
Yeah.
like use all the items and put them in and just take them out wherever you're in the world. Like I don't have that to like make that again and all this. I'm like, oh, it's just like killed my desire to play it.
Yeah.
Man.
Some things that hopefully 2 fixed, but again, I don't know. I didn't play 2, and I only played a little bit of 1. But yeah, no, I completely can understand it not be because like again, it's a spin-off, and
Yeah.
it's a very unique design, and I respect them for trying it. But I think it is too simple.
Yeah,
that was
feels
my
a little
big
too
complaint.
Maybe like a little too kiddie or
And
something.
maybe that was it. Maybe that is legitimately the whole marketing behind that game is just for kids. Maybe they didn't have like it wasn't made for the Dragon Quest fan as much as because obviously it's like, well, I like the RPGs, I like the turn-based RPGs, and maybe they like the Dragon Quest Monster series, but this is just like completely different. So maybe it was the target audience was kids.
Yeah, but that's all for me. Just played that. It's fine, I guess. Really, honest to God, I'm playing it and all I want to do is play like an actual Dragon Quest game.
Yeah.
It's like what it makes me want to do. It's like pop in like 6 or something, but I don't have them. So. But your turn. Hopefully, you have more enjoyment out of your games that you played than I did.
Yeah. So I'll start with like the smaller things like still grinding the way of Street Fighter. Still trying to get better. Been sort of addicted to it. Still trying to wrangle people with the Geef. Such a bad character. It's insane. He's so bad. So it can be frustrating because you're just like, man, I wish I could do what this person's doing to me. Like, man, I wish I could do this, but you can't. But I picked up a new controller just for Zangief specifically. Because fighting games, one of the hardest things to do is find a good peripheral to play fighting games on. And I'm not someone who plays on Fight Stick, and because that's like a legacy thing. And I didn't play in the arcades. I'm not going to play Hitbox, which for those who don't know, Hitbox is basically the joystick is just buttons. So the whole arcade stick is just buttons. And that's like they call them leverless, and that's like probably the best controller to use for fighting games, if you can get used to it. But not for someone like Zangief because you have to do full circle inputs with the joystick and things. So I went out of my way to get a good controller to play Zangief with, and so far, really liking it. The D-pad is fantastic. So yeah, playing Geef. I'm currently sitting at Plat 5. So if I rank up, I'll be Diamond, and then from Diamond, I go to Masters, and that's the highest rank. So I'm trying. I'm getting there. But yeah, so still playing that. Akuma comes out in like I don't know 13 days. So I'm definitely gonna try him. Speaking of Capcom, I decided out of nowhere that I was like, I'm gonna either play through BioShock or I'm gonna play Devil May Cry. I was like, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. The reality is, I was like, there's a lot of classic franchises that I haven't played, and everybody can say that. Trust me. Like, the thing is about like gaming backlogs is backlogs are infinite. They don't stop. You will never get through your backlog because it is literally infinite. So you can say that for a lot of things, but I was like, man, I never played through BioShock, and I never played through Devil May Cry. So like, I'm gonna pick one, and I picked Devil May Cry, mainly because of length, because I've been really busy. So I was like, okay, I know this game's short. It's like classic. People love it. I only played like up to like mission 9 ever. So popped it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. And playing on the HD collection on PS4 or PS5, whatever. And I will say this. I think the game was very good. I think it's, well, yeah, I would say it was very good. I gave it like an 8 out of 10. And some of the thoughts I had with it was I thought the game was pretty hard, but I also didn't think it was too hard.
No,
Um,
no.
I actually thought the story was pretty cool. I mean, it's like Omega Edgelord, the game. I mean, come on, it's Devil May Cry, right? So it's just bound to be Omega Edgelord, the game. But it gets a pass. And so I was actually kind of interested in the story of like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, who's this girl? Oh, this. So I was like, it was simple, but I liked it. I also thought the gameplay was fairly simple. Now, I've only ever well, okay. When I say I never played Devil May Cry, I meant I didn't play the first one. But I haven't played the second one. I never played the third one. I never played the fourth one. I did beat the fifth one. Now, the fifth one is the newest, and it's mechanically super fun and impressive. So obviously, going from that one to the first one, I didn't expect the same amount of combos and gameplay mechanics.
So a little bit different.
So yeah, the game is very simple. The combos are simple, at least at a base level. I'm sure I could have YouTubed and Googled some more combos. I don't know. I just learned like you'd hit like triangle, delay the next triangle. Like you would like do a pattern with just hitting triangle in certain ways, and you would get different moves. So yeah, I thought the gameplay was simple, but I thought it was fun. I think when it came to the weapons, the base sword, or the Alistar, the lightning sword, I think is the best sword. I think there's no reason to use the fire hand gauntlets. I think that is the best weapon, best sword. And when it comes to the guns, I think the best gun is the grenade launcher. And I'll die on that hill. I think the worst weapon is the Sparta blade, the final one you get. And I think the worst gun is the nightmare gun, the last one you get. I think they are both the worst weapons in the game, which is funny because they're the last ones you get. And the reason I think they're the worst, the gun doesn't build Devil Trigger meter. The nightmare gun doesn't build it at all. And when you're using the Sparta blade, you don't get a Devil Trigger. So, unless I'm misunderstanding something, I thought that was pretty bad. So I rocked the grenade launcher with the lightning sword because the grenade launcher, if you landed a hit with the grenade launcher, you pretty much built one symbol of meter. And it just built meter so fast. The shotgun is an honorable mention as the second best weapon. It does one-shot certain enemies, which is great. But I just bring up the weapons because the grenade launcher and lightning sword combo just like carried me through the game. It was so strong. And I didn't have any prior knowledge with the game. I didn't know what was considered good, what was considered bad. I didn't look anything up. You know, I went into it and was just like, I'm just going to try to play the game this way. And you can tell because I pumped a lot of resources into like the fire gauntlets to find out that I didn't even like them. So, rip the red orbs. But yeah, so pretty much just I pretty much always had Devil Trigger active with the combo I had, and it just felt insanely strong. And when you're in Devil Trigger state, you heal a little bit too, so it's like that's always good. Some of the parts that were frustrating, the ones that stand out. Oh, actually, this kind of goes hand in hand. I think the worst part about the game is the bosses. You fight the same like bosses like 4 times, and then you finally kill them, and then you fight the next one 4 times. It's like
that's that's one thing I remember from that game.
You just keep fighting the same boss, and the next fight's just more annoying. Okay,
yeah,
the spider is probably the easiest boss in the game.
Yeah,
because you legitimately get in his face and don't stop hitting triangle, and he will never kill you. It is like a joke, right? The fucking bird can fuck off. That bird is so annoying. I hate bosses that just have states where you just can't hit him. You can technically hit him, but it's like impossible to. And it annoys me. And then you keep fighting him and fighting him and fighting him. I'm like, oh my god. So that was like a big complaint I had. I was like, how many times am I gonna fight the same boss with just like a slightly different variation added to it? The only boss fight that I thought was cool fighting multiple times, now, his name isn't Sparta, is it? Because
It's a final boss, right?
is that okay?
I think.
Who's the? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
I think it's the final boss.
The dude with the.
I'll be honest.
The dude with the horns and the sword. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sparta. I think. I'll be honest. I don't remember Devil May Cry 1 that much.
Cause like
I remember 3 the most. 3's the one I remember the most because it's the one I played the most.
Darn it! Because I remember. I remember
Is he the
Trish.
final boss? Yeah, Trish.
No.
I was supposed to be the one to fill your dark soul with light.
No. Oh man, this is gonna drive me absolutely insane.
Virgil's not in that game. So.
No. It's
Sad.
Oh, is his name Mundus?
Mundus.
His name's
Maybe.
His name's Mundus. No, Mundus is the guy you kill at the very end.
Among Us?
Yeah. I don't know why, it's just bothering me now. I hate that I'm forgetting because it's like I just played the game, but oh man. God, I hate that. But whoever that guy is with the sword, I thought he was fun to fight. I liked fighting him. No issues there.
Sword?
What?
Did he have a blue sword?
Yeah.
Nello Angelo?
Is that it?
I don't know. I'm just looking at my trophies. Defeat Nello Angelos in chapter 17. He has like a blue sword. He has like a cape. It's like a purple cape.
And he's got like a helmet with horns.
I can't see that because it's really small, but.
Well, either way, I think he's Virgil. I think.
Okay.
That's my guess. I think he's Virgil. Because you do see him without his helmet. But it's like, I can't tell if it's Virgil because it's PS2 graphics. But I'm like, I think it's Virgil. But yeah, I thought that was a...
Mundus.
Mundus is the guy, or he's the one
like
that
an angel. He looks like an angel.
Yeah. And, okay. So that's the thing. This game and Resident Evil 4 share a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
The level design, I feel like, could have been not the level aesthetic, but the way the levels play out reminds me of RE4. The ending of the game is legit just a copy of like RE4 and like MGS1 like style ending. It's like it really is just like an RE4 ending, copy and pasted. I don't like those types of endings though, because when I have the final epic fight with the boss, I hate that that's not the end. The end is escaping. Like, I have a really weird thing that I don't like about that. I know it sounds like I'm getting nitpicky, but it's like, you have this epic boss, like, now you just gotta run out. I don't know. It just kind of, like, takes away from it for me. Same with MGS1. When it happened in MGS1, I'm like, man. So, a small complaint there. But yeah, overall, thought the game was really good. Really glad I played through it.
It's a good game.
And I'm I'm playing 2 currently. Went right to 2.
You far in or not that far?
Only got to mission 5. Got to mission 5.
How you feeling?
Okay.
How you feeling, my man?
So I'm going into this game okay. I can't help but know that people hate this game, right?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep an open mind. I really am. And like, let me go into it pretending people don't hate it. And the big thing that I noticed is like, now maybe I have to unlock them because I'm not far in, but it's like you get some stuff carried over. Like I can double jump for free. I didn't have to unlock that, but like the combos are gone. You don't do combos. Like you just spam triangle and like an auto combo comes out. There's just certain things that I'm like, this, it doesn't feel as good to play. Um, I think the thing I probably hate about it the most is I feel like the guns are the pistols are just too strong. I don't see a reason to use my sword.
Dude, you can literally just shoot everything in the game and
It
you won't get
combos.
touched. You won't
You
get
shoot
touched.
them enough, they start getting lifted off the ground, and now
Yeah,
you're just
yeah,
now you're infinitely looped them.
Yep.
And
That's
it's like,
yep.
and I'm trying to not play that way because I want to go in with the sword. I want to do combos. I want to try, but like, I, the pistols don't do as much damage as the sword, but you legitimately won't get hit. It's very trivializing. And I actually upgraded the shotguns first. Because I was like, man, like, the pistols feel cheap. Well, the shotguns fucking suck. So, probably shouldn't have upgraded that. They are terrible. But yeah, like, the sad thing is, so far, I can already kind of see why this game is not liked. The story, I don't know this for a fact or not, but it seems like the story is completely just like thrown together bullshit that doesn't matter. Because I know for a fact that the one character in that game that they're trying to make like an important character is legitimately never seen again. I know that for a fact, that they're not in anything else. So I already kind of feel,
Redhead girl.
yeah. So that alone makes me feel like this story has no value. And knowing that in Devil May Cry 5, when you do the synopsis of Devil May Cry, 2 gets one sentence from what I heard.
Okay, that's where I was going. It's like they like completely skip over it.
Like that on top of like the way they introduce the character and then knowing they never come back, I'm like, this story must just mean nothing. Because I don't think it's bad yet. Might be a Lost Planet situation, so strap in for next episode. But I'll probably be playing that a decent bit over the weekend since I'll be away from my computer and can't play like Street Fighter and stuff. So I'll probably bring my PlayStation and play that. Luckily, again, another short game. But yeah, pretty much. I'm just trying to just get through the Devil May Cry franchise. I guess they're so short. Like I beat the first one. The first one, the clocked in like playtime hours said 5.5 hours, but I know that's not true because it doesn't account for you like dying because you load your save. So I would say probably was more around like 7.5. But yeah, I guess I'm just trying to get through this franchise. Really, really interested in getting to 3 because everyone loves 3. And then 4, I don't know.
3's so good.
I don't know a thing about 4. I legitimately know nothing. I haven't heard someone say it's good.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me when it comes to 4.
No, I'm saying like I haven't heard anyone say it's good. I haven't heard anyone say it's bad. I've not heard anything. So 3 I know everybody loves. 2 I know everybody hates. 1 I know people like. 5 is fantastic, but like 4 I really know nothing about. Now I know that you didn't like it back like a while ago, but like that's like, you know.
Told you multiple times that I probably didn't understand those games when I played it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I need to play the special edition because I heard that is better than the base game.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So, wasn't taking that opinion to heart, but I will say this. Dante is a really cool character that I feel like should have been utilized more in other franchises. He was only ever in like Marvel vs. Capcom or whatever as like a fighting game character. Like I know he got like a skin in Beautiful Joe. He showed up in SMT3, which is awesome. But I just feel like I feel like Dante is such a product of that era vampire slaying demons, like that type of stuff. You know, they had like vampires, demons, zombies, like was a very big thing back then. And I just feel like he could have been in a lot more things and utilized more, and I think people would have loved it. But not that it matters. But I do think he's a cool character, and he gets the pass. He's allowed to be edgy. He gets a pass. Because like some of the one-liners, man, they're just like, all right. So it's like such a 20-year-old line.
The thing with him too nowadays is like he is cool, but I feel like Virgil is like the cool guy of the franchise now. Man. He's like the cool guy.
So, because the games are short, I think it's easy to kind of marathon them. Like I said, I'm doing a short game because I've been really busy lately, and I just don't have a lot of time to play games. So, I just wanted to pick like a nice short one so I can get through. BioShock is still on the menu. I still want to try out and finish BioShock. I know that's relatively short too, but my plan with this is like beat all the DMCs, and when I get to 5, because I already beat 5, that'll be my time to now play through as Virgil, because I never did that. Because as far as I know, it's the same game.
Yeah, pretty much, I think.
Yeah, and he's got one of the greatest songs in video game history. That's another thing with Devil May Cry 2 is you get to play as the girl, but
I never did that, by the way. I didn't play her.
So I do know what playing as her does, like how it's different.
Yeah.
You play through the campaign, but not all of it, and you play through the levels backwards.
Okay.
That's what I know about it.
Okay.
Which is a nice sure sign of me telling you I'm not doing that.
All right.
I'll try her, but like, I don't care about her. I want to play as Virgil because Virgil's cool. I don't care about this dumb bitch. Who is this woman? I don't care. And I doubt I'll care by the end, you know? No offense, but it's kind of like Ada. I don't fucking care about playing as Ada. Fuck Ada. Like, whatever. The separate ways, like, I don't even care about separate ways because Ada's not cool to me.
Fuck Ada? Yeah, I wish.
Yeah,
I wish, brother. I wish, brother.
But yeah, so that's Devil May Cry. Thought it was fun. Worth playing if you haven't played it. I'm sure you have. Most people, that is, because I was a little late to it, but that's yeah, it's really it as far as what I was playing. Just wanted to kind of rant about Devil May Cry because I know it's a game Ryder finished and I hadn't talked to him about it since I beat it. So that's,
I forgot that you sometimes I forget that you didn't beat the first one because I know you played it a while back.
Yeah, I got to the first time I ever played it. I actually got to the sewer. It was somewhere in the sewers when I stopped. I'll say this. I didn't die on the final boss. I died probably the most with the bird fights. That's where I probably died the most. But yeah, good game. Definitely play it if you haven't played it.
Devil May Cry 1.
Yeah,
without a doubt. That's a game. That's another one of those games where it's like I think everybody should play it.
Yeah, and especially
at least once.
How often the collection on like PS4, PS5 store goes on sale? It's like
dude, they're fucking on
so
sale.
cheap,
dude.
So cheap. Because like you can get a physical copy of 4 special edition on PS4, but it's like $80 physical now. But I got it on sale for like $2 on digital, so it's like one of those games where it's like just grab it, just grab the series digital if you can. Cause it's who cares? I'm paying $80 for that. Nah, I'm good. I'll pass. But yeah, so that's about all I got to talk about as far as games I was playing. Devil May Cry and Street Fighter.
Yeah, sadly I didn't have much to say. I'm kind of in the after playing Prince of Persia, playing that nice short game. Really, it's like I kind of want to play another short game. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing here tonight. Actually, looking for some shorter games to start playing. Yeah,
I get bit by the bug of like shorter games because sometimes I do just want to power through like a long RPG and whatnot. But when you get bit by that short game bug, I think what it is short games have like you always feel a sense of progression, and it always feels good to beat a game and enjoy it, especially. But when you beat a game and it's like, That's why with like Devil May Cry, it's like, oh, I beat Devil May Cry, now I can go to the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one. So it's like if it's a short game and it's like a trilogy, I think that's a nice it's a nice combo for me.
Yeah. Yep. Anything else? Any other topics, or
No, I think
feel this is a feel this
we
was a pretty good one?
yeah, we went an hour and a half, about normal length, is what we normally do. Like I said, I do have some more topics written down, and we kind of I know we kind of stopped in the middle of that Xbox talk, but I was like, man, this episode is gonna go long if that's like the only thing we talk about, so we can always pick that back up whenever. Some of the other topics I'll just read out to you so you can think about them. And I wrote down like maybe topics that we'll talk about. Kind of foreshadowing next episode. Games that you were hyped for but you were disappointed in.
A lot of those.
Your favorite game that's considered a bad game. And your favorite game system and least favorite game system. And obviously like elaborate on it. But yeah, so like those types of topics to talk about, because actually one of them written down, or actually we talked about two of them today that I wrote down. Gaming stories. Oh no, that's another one. We'll talk about gaming stories, and what I mean by gaming stories is like just funny stories you might have as sitting down, kind of like how we talked about American Wasteland, having our dad have to mash, things like that. Just like yeah, just funny stories that you can think of how you maybe how you got certain games, how you like lost a game that you loved, funny things that happened while you were playing them. And then we talked, and then the one we talked about was our least favorite and favorite genre of games. So yeah, I'll say a good healthy episode. Next episode possibly we'll have Tucker from the I Am Tuckalicious YouTube channel, and I'll try and prepare some questions for all of us to ask, and you can as well. Because I think when you have guests, it's kind of nice to have some questions that we can all answer when you got three people. But yeah, other than that, I think we're good to go, and I think this is a good spot to end it. Appreciate anybody listening, as always.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Nice little time capsule we're doing here. The date right now, Thursday, May 9th, 2024.
You know what? That's something we should do at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, I forgot. Just
we
now.
need to do that. Let's try to remember that for next time.
Yeah,
That's
all right.
like important.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. That being said, we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya, guys.